I was the victim of a violent assault as a result of my activities in the anti-apartheid movement. I had liver damage, kidney damage, a hernia, and had the N-word carved in my stomach with a pair of office scissors. And after I got out of the hospital, the local police leaked to the press that they thought I had self-inflicted the wounds. So I was asked, or I went to the detective in charge of the investigation, and he asked me to take a lie detector. I told him it was unlikely that I would do that, but I would talk to the other people in the civil rights movement who were all in our coalition and get their advice. And I talked to them all that night, and they all said absolutely refused to take it. But while I was there that night thinking about it, I thought, now I have some understanding of what it must be like to be a woman who had been sexually assaulted and to prove that she had been sexually assaulted. And when the newspaper called to ask if I was going to take the lie detector or not, I told them that. And I got more than 200 calls from women around the country who had been raped in the next 2 months, thanking me as a man for saying that at that time. And 13 years later, when I was approached by Jackson Katz, who was a former football player at Harvard University, to start a program on men's violence against women, I heard the voices of those women in the back of my head, and it was a no-brainer to start what's now the largest program in the country in the world of sports on the issue of domestic violence. It started on college campuses. We've trained people in what's called bystander behavior. Jackson was the person who invented bystander behavior. It's now run by Jeff O'Brien, who a lot of people in the audience know has done an amazing job with our program. It's now called Huddle Up. But they've been on more than 200 college campuses over the years, training not only athletes, but people in residence halls, really anybody in the student body we can get access to. But we've also trained all 4 branches of the military over the years because the program has gotten so successful. Well, when we started in 1985, we never thought that we would reach the number of people that we did. But as we understood the power of sport and how people responded to it, and that you could communicate virtually any social justice message through sport. And we talk about human trafficking in our program. We talk about domestic violence, obviously race relations and sexism and homophobia are all topics of what we deal with in our service programs because we saw right away that sport had that powerful impact and people tried to stop us from using that. There was no doubt in my mind that when I was attacked, it was because people were trying to stop me for doing what I did. My father was the coach of the New York Knicks and integrated the NBA in 1950, and my earliest memory of my father is looking outside my bedroom window as a 5-year-old boy and seeing his image swinging from a tree with people under the tree picketing. So people tried to stop my father as well. And once I realized that, I realized I wanted to spend the rest of my life using the sports platform to address social justice issues, including domestic violence. As a result of my talking about it in audiences, almost every time a woman who had been sexually assaulted, or occasionally a man who had been sexually assaulted, comes up to me and talks to me about how important it was that they heard it being discussed in the environment that they were in, wherever we were that day. And it just underlines to me both the power of talking about it and the opportunity to heal and use programs that are designed to heal those wounds and create opportunities for survivors in particular so that they can resume a life that allows them to be independent and full citizens of their communities. I am committed to using my strength to be a voice against domestic violence in every way possible.